Losers bracket, we have another best of 5 series, and it is the Anti-Clown Association against the Storm League Enjoyers. And even the HGC shirt gets busted out today. Now guys, quick reminder, we obviously have also HGC shirts in the shop. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can catch the link in the description. We have hot butter through cheese merch, we have Heroes Gaming Community shirts and mugs right now, so we have a lot of cool stuff there, so check it out if you haven't done that yet. In our series here, in the Hanzo Genji Cup, we are looking at another best of 5, and well, this time it's for all the marbles. We're down to the final 4 teams. This is a North American tournament taking place on the NA server to more NA-friendly times. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild one, honestly, because this is the last chance for the final European team that we have in the mix. The team around Hanzo and Dino got already eliminated in the round robin, so they dropped out. Now we're down to the final 4, and we already went, of course, through a couple of the winners bracket matches. But the winner of this series will go up against the Squeal team, and in the grand final, 30k is currently waiting. I'm personally just happy that we get Battlefield of Eternity, and it has obviously been the map choice of the Enjoyers. It's a typical European map to play, and when they chose the map and it got decided, I was just sitting there, I was like, thank you. No alt-direct pass. There's a chance that we're still going to get alt-direct later. I would assume that's going to happen, but yeah, I still really want to get a little bit of progress there. So, Hanzo is being picked first by Kels. Yeah, understandable. You want something that burns the Immortal down quickly, and who better than Hanzo? You can obviously then also go into other heroes like, I mean, Chromie, Lunara, a couple of the mages, Vala with an arrow build, Exterminator, Reina, Li Ming. So plenty of heroes that you can still take. In this case, obviously, Chromie is already banned out, so she's not an option. But we have now Brightwing and Dehaka, so already 2 globals in the hands of the Enjoyers. And then on the side of Maze and Blaze, we get Urel. His Blaze is banned out, so he goes for Urel instead. And we get Diablo by Godfilth. We have seen some really nice performances by Godfilth on Diablo already in yesterday's matches in the winner bracket semifinal. And he's been absolutely beasting it on this one. So the Enjoyers definitely have to be careful. Now obviously, as I pointed out earlier, this is all taking place on the NA server, meaning that there is a ping disadvantage for the European teams. In total, we had 2 European teams sign up for the qualifiers, as I explained earlier. All the other teams were NA teams. This is kind of what usually happens when we play cross-server. Well, actually, I think it's not quite fair. When we're talking about European tournaments, there's usually no NA teams that sign up. We have a couple of individual North American players that don't mind subbing in and playing cross-server. Kyo comes to mind, for example. We've seen Madara play a few as well, and I think also Legacy in the last tournament jumped in a few times. But generally speaking, there's no actual NA teams that sign up as a full 5-man stack. First of all, because the ping is a problem. Second of all, because the times sometimes are not really quite nice for them. Greymane, okay, gets taken. So we get Greymane for immortal damage, and we get Garrosh by Arion. Now, I'm eyeing Alvarus, and what I really want is Zarya. Just give me a Garrosh Zarya in this tournament. I would absolutely love that. I don't think it's really happening, but it would be a lot of fun. It would be really cool, actually, because I haven't seen it in a hot minute, and seeing NA confronted with that particular style would be pretty cool. Not that they haven't played it ever or anything, but yeah. So here comes Uther, and we get Junkrat. The stage is set for the Anti-Clown Association, and now the final choice for the Enjoyers. Are we going to get a Zarya? My heart says yes, my head says no, probably not. But if not, then they at least need something that can burn the Immortal down a little bit faster for Alvarez. So, yeah. Battlefield as the map. It's going to be a lot of team fights. I mean, no matter what, we're going to see lots of team fights here. So, final pick for the European team as we're heading into the first map of the best of 5 series. It's Li Ming. We're going to get her together with Greymane to try and take down the Anti-Clown Association. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Map number 1. Battlefield of Eternity, the blue team on the left with Roger. On Hanzo, we got the Anti-Clown Association currently doing their thing there. And I'm really looking forward to this. So the Anti-Clowns, what actually can they pull off in this situation? Can they be the team that moves on to the next round of the tournament? Or is it going to be the boys in red that make it happen. We have Mason Blaze on UL, Kelsey on Junkrat, got Filth on Diablo, and Valamar on Uther. As over on the right side, Arian is playing Garrosh for the European team. We have Richu on Dehaka, Lavekal on Brightwing, Alvaros on Li Ming, and Itrax is playing Greymane. And they're actually a bit hesitant down here in that situation. So right now, top side, this is where Li Ming is starting to aim maybe for a bit of a hit. The 2-3 split is definitely not all that common when we're talking about the normal setup for this. But both of the teams are currently pulling that one off. So we'll see how far this goes. I mean, right now, we're already looking on level 1. Typical talents here with the Ether Walk for Li Ming. Obviously, we're going to get Calamity for her. Pew Pew at the top side is already breaking out. Brightwing going into the Hyper Shift over here. Still, Lavekal. And I want to see how much of an impact Arian can have with Garrosh here. Every single time I see Garrosh, I mean, it's always a little bit hit or miss, I feel. A good Garrosh player can really just ruin your day, and Arian is going to try and use exactly that. The team has been struggling a bit in the winner bracket semi-final. One of the reasons was that they didn't do all that well in the round robin, so they came in 4th place. They barely qualified for the final round of the tournament, and that meant that they had to go up against the top team of the round robin phase, which was obviously 30k. 30k still the team to beat, and that was a very, very tough match for the Enjoyers, where they just couldn't see any daylight. Now, I have to give some shout out already to Squeal Team 6. If you haven't seen the winner bracket final between Squeal Team 6 and 30k, then I heavily recommend that you go back and watch it on YouTube, because that series was insane. Utterly insane. There were so many twists and turns in that best of 5 where I was just like, this cannot be happening. Couldn't believe my eyes at half of them. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would very much recommend that you're going to check it out. Now, on our first map over here, it's not quite ready yet for the first Immortal, obviously. We have teams just pausing it up, so I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on. Normally, when it happens, it kind of indicates that there is a bit of a ping problem for the Enjoyers. The Polish team had trouble in the past, where all of a sudden ping starts spiking pretty significantly, and they have to pause the game a little bit. Usually, it takes a minute or two, and then they're ready to resume. But it kind of indicates how big of a problem it can be with the delay that they are facing. I believe at points it spiked over 400 ping, so quite significant. And even at the best of times, I think they're playing around 240 if I'm not mistaken. So let's hope that the issue here is going to subside in a moment and that we can continue. Game number 1, as I said, we are in a best of 5 series and a Clown Association against the Enjoyers. So apparently it was Alvaros that had the big problems with delay here. But now things are back to normal. I mean, they still have a much higher delay, but it's at least not spiking absolutely into crazy territory, so that helps them a bit here. Now, down to the bottom of the map, we are still... Oh, actually, now with Diablo rotating over, they wanted to put pressure onto the Haka. Li Ming is taking the safe path towards the top 2, so they are slowly starting to go for their camp since the objective gets announced in 10 seconds. So then that's happening. Level 4 kicks in for the 2 teams at the same time. And nobody wants to be 4th place here, right? So you want to make sure that you are winning this one, that you're coming in here swinging and you claim victory in game number 1 to take the lead. And there's also a bit of a moment of pride, I suppose, for the Enjoyers. I mean, at this point, they're representing Europe. The chances of them really making a full loser bracket run and getting straight to the grand final are a bit slim if we are talking about the additional handicap that they have. But you at least want to do as well as you possibly can here. Now, with that said, obviously we didn't have all the players, all the top players in Europe sign up for this one either. But the Polish team has been doing well. Now they're also playing in their true colors here. So Greymane already starting on the Immortal and on Diablo. That's obviously going to be an interplay that we're going to observe throughout the game, where after level 10 the bullet is likely going to be picked up by Greymane and he's going to aim for Diablo specifically. And talking about aiming for him, that lick hit hard and got filled, gets dragged in a bit. Still totally fine though. Problem is that they have to face off against Hanzo, and he is just running the show when it comes to Immortal damage. That bad boy has been dominating things on this map for such a long time. is going to try and do the exact same thing over on the left as the Enjoyers are going for the team fight, but they got some problems with Greymane, who jumps in deep, wants to go for Junkrat, can't quite pull it off. Hanzo nearly winning the objective already. A counter kill could go a long way, but they are about to lose Greymane. They're barely getting out of harm's way as Alvarez is hoping to somehow get a kill in a reset. It's not happening. The Immortal is taken, and the Anti-Clown Association claims the first objective in game number 1 with a 30% shield, roughly. So, this is going to be a push for the bot lane, where they're going to try and break the wall. Maybe even the fort, but I don't think that they can go that far with it. So breaking the wall here and putting some damage on the fort is probably the best, but there's level 7, there's an early level 7. That's a great stun. If Greymane falls, and he does, that's a disaster. That was one of their biggest tools against the blue team's Immortal, so now this push became just so much stronger. And Li Ming, oh, that's a bot right there. So he actually dropped. Alvarez had already problems earlier, and apparently now he dropped as well. So that is really bad news. They lost Greymane, and then Li Ming, even if she now reconnects, lost a few seconds. The good news is that she didn't die in the process, but they are now facing off against an Immortal that might have lost its shields, but at the same time is aiming straight for the fort since they already lost the war. So that's a great start for the Anti-Clown Association into the first game of the series. And we're back. So, Li Ming reconnected. The problem's still the same. With only her defending, this fort is doomed. And this is exactly what's happening. Greymane is back, but it was too late to make a difference there. So, not too shabby. Good start for the Anti-Clown Association. And by the way, while they're defending here, also one thing that I want to quickly note, obviously we have more content coming up soon with Stormgate once that it gets out of NDA. For all the Heroes of the Storm fans, I know that tons of people that are watching this on YouTube right now are actually not subbed to the YouTube channel. So one of the things I would really like to do is hit the 100,000 subscribers on the channel. And if you would like me to, even after Stormgate gets released, host more tournaments and create more content from Heroes of the Storm, I would really appreciate if you guys could hit that sub button on YouTube. So the goal would be to eventually get to a point where I hit that 100,000 mark. I've been running the the Heroes channel for a long time there. So if you want to see more content in the future, that's one of the ways that you can actually support all of this, which doesn't cost you a thing and would really help. And also, of course, signal very clearly that more content is desired. So if you haven't done it yet, and I know most of you that watch this right now haven't, click that sub button on YouTube. Half a level until level 10 for the Anti-Clown Association. Yeah, Arian over here gets already pushed back again. He needs to be careful at that front too. They've only suffered a single death so far. That was the one of Greymane. Oh, talking about Greymane. Brightwing with a heal, and just in the nick of time. One more grenade and it would have been the end of their damage dealer. So now that level 10 starts to kick in, the Anti-Clown Association can get a headway on the second Immortal. And maybe even, can they pick up the camp here? Are they even willing to try? Seems like they are indeed totally okay going for it. Diablo is already aiming at it. There comes the engage, flip, arrow, and boom! Greymane is instantly in trouble, gets burned, so does Brightwing. Both of them eliminated, and that is 3 kills to 0. Nicely done, and obviously a spectacularly good situation for the Anti-Clown Association now that they can go for the halftime show with ease. They have extended their lead in experience as well, so they're looking very, very good here. At the top, they can try and take a few more waves, hope for the XP, but at the end of the day, this Immortal is going to go over to the blue team. Anything else would be absolutely shocking. Now that 10 is ready for the Enjoyers, they can maybe go and try and force a quick fight, but unless they're insta-dropping Hanzo, he is going to claim it one way or another for the team. So the only thing that they're essentially trying to do here is limit the damage a bit by trying to reduce the shield. It's not really happening all that much though, as you can tell. So it's a 70% shield. And they're even taking the camp that can now push through the bot lane. It's still fairly early in the game, so I don't expect this to do too much, but it's a question of how much damage can be done with the Immortal push at the top lane. That's probably the bigger one right now. So, 3 kills to 0. Here's the push coming. They're starting to make the move straight up for that wall, and it is destroyed in seconds. This time they have Greymane though. They have Greymane and they have Liming, so this is definitely going to help them to defend this much easier. But they're still taking damage here, as you can see. That fort might not get lost just yet, but it is taking significant damage. So the Anti-Clown Association is just extending the lead that they have in the game, already prepping to take the next structure down. And at the bottom of the map, talking about taking structures down, Urel is wreaking havoc. The Haka has now moved in an attempt to defend, but she was all alone on that lane for a long time. It was also a reason why the top lane went the way it did, because it was a 5 versus 4 in favor of the Enjoyers, who have now fallen behind with another talent again, because 13 has hit for the blue team. But since the Space Goat is even damaging the bottom keep here, the rest of the team is engaging at the top, looking to capitalize on that talent advantage and starting to do some serious work. Not a single kill just yet for the Enjoyers, and more damage here is coming. So they are doing really well. The Anti-Clown Association is absolutely doing great work here. And it's a tough time. It's a very tough time for the Enjoyers in game number 1. So, yeah, not easy by any means. That's a little bit rough here. Actually, really rough. So, how are they going to play this? Down at the bottom of the map, party continues once again. So, over here, it's the Haka who's still trying to defend as best as he can. And the red team attempting to wrap around from the looks of it. And apparently hoping to get maybe some shots in here. Now, if they can force that fight and do some work, that would be neat. But can they really break through? That's going to be the big question. Already the attack coming in against Garrosh, and he's in trouble. Garrosh going down. That's kill number 4 for the blue team. They're hoping for more. They're getting Liming. They aim for the Haka, trying to make it a triple. 2 forts have now been annihilated. Diablo with a big barbecue. Big damage from him. And they get another one. Bye-bye, Greymane. That's only 2 heroes that are still alive over here. And it is absolutely disastrous now for the Enjoyers. They're having problems with ping. They're having problems with some lag, as we could already observe earlier. And things are not getting any better for them. They're losing ground every single second. And they've lost way too much on all already. So a tough time for them in this series. And it is a bit doubtful if they're going to be able to recover at this point. Now, the first thing, of course, is the objective. This is going to be a 3rd one. We still haven't seen a single kill yet for the red team. So the Europeans are struggling. And, well, blue team is actually playing this one a bit slow. Haven't gone immediately for the follow-up after the halftime show. They got the first 50%, of course. But now it's 13 versus 13 talents. There are more camps at the bottom of the map, on the other hand. Hanzo gets away, able to jump out. Maybe now the kill. They go for God Filled. Diablo still alive with another wall stun after Hanzo's arrow already connected. And here comes the Riptire from Junkrat. Connects, and they go again for Greymane. Itrax is low, and he is dead. The goat came in and took out the wolf. Usually it's the other way. But in this case, it is Greymane that falls. Not having a great game here. Obviously getting targeted time and time again. Big push at the bottom of the map, straight for the keep. This one is going to be in trouble. And the halftime show gets followed up with more damage on the Immortal. So it seems like we're going to get another big shield. The keep getting dropped mega quickly here. It's a tough time. Keep is low, and guys, with this big of a shield and now a level 16 talent advantage for the blue team, they are very likely going to destroy the keep at the top as well. So things are looking grim, and absolutely grim for them. It's rough. It's really rough what's happening here for the Enjoyers. For the Anti-Clown Association, this is obviously fantastic. They want to make it a top 3 NA in their own tournament, in their servers tournament. And so far, things are looking pretty good. Bottom keep is taking damage. Top keep is what they're going to try and take out. Kelsey, on the other hand, eats the full damage combo from Liming here and gets nearly killed. That would have been a great start, but the Enjoyers haven't gotten a single kill just yet. Now the level 16 talent advantage, of course, has kicked in. We are looking at nearly a 3-level gap between the two teams. As the keep gets attacked, shield removed, Immortal switches into melee mode and starts to take down the keep, and they might lose more if they can get a kill. Oh, there's the wall stun. Greymane, again the target. Keep already gone. Greymane died 4 times, by the way. 4 of those 7 kills are against him. Now they're not making a move for the core just yet. They're playing the safe. The Enjoyers have shown multiple times in multiple series that if you give them just one opportunity to end the game, they will use that in the late game. So this is why the Anti-Clown Association is playing this as safe as they can. They want to go for the double keeps, so they send the heroes down to the bottom of the map. And this is where they're likely now going to start the siege up with their level 16 advantage and poke a bit. Or they just fall back. Wait for the next minion wave there. But if they can get farther ahead and take that keep out, that would go a long way for them. Because again, the Enjoyers have won so many games where you felt they are already out. They have no chance of coming back. Not only against NA teams, by the way. I mean, the Church of Khaldor was founded by them turning the game around as predicted. So, yeah. COK, the cock still goes hard. As Greymane gets killed. And that is going to spell out the end of that bottom. So both of the keeps now gone. 8 kills to 0, even with level 16 on the horizon for the Enjoyers. This is nearly impossible. 2 forts still standing on the side of the Anti-Clown Association. Constant catapult pressure as guaranteed. We're moving into the 15-minute mark, which of course means that catapults are slowly and steadily starting to get a bit stronger over here. So even just playing the clock is going to help the blue team. It would be a bit of a miracle if they would lose this one. I personally don't really see it happen. Time will tell, obviously, but it is definitely a bit of a toughie. So, as is, here comes the attack against Garrosh once again. Mason Blaze with Eurelis moving in from the side too. The red team is totally willing to take some fights now. They're still waiting for their first kill, but it's really the catapults that are going to come in from everywhere that are one of the biggest issues at this point. So the attacks, they start up, keep coming. Hanzo in particular can always poke now. Same is obviously true for Junkrat. And we still have some side lane control with the Haka, so he's at least making sure that the catapults are not getting an easy hit in on the core. But it's going to pin him down very significantly, and of course all of that is also visible. So yeah, gotta be very careful if you are the Bread team right now. We'll see how far they can go with this. But right now the halftime show is barely... it's pretty even. It's pretty even. It's not too bad. It's a bit of a discrepancy. 2,000 hit points. Nice. Hanzo gets saved. That could have gone... Oh, but on the other hand, the White Shield. Hanzo's arrow. No, the Haka goes down. Just like it seemed they might get a kill. They lose 3. Brightwing, Garrosh, and the Haka are all gone. Greymane gets annihilated too. And now they can just go for the core. And why would they go anywhere else? You don't need to deal with that pesky objective anymore. Alvaros is jumping over, but this is gonna be it. They want Li Ming as well. Uther with a stun takes the kill. 5-man team wipe. And this is game. The 1-0 lead goes to the team in blue. It's the Anti-Clown Association that takes a lead in the best of 5 series. Nicely done, well played. GG, 13 kills to 0. Perfect game from ACA.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
And the Clown Association is in the lead. They have taken the 1-0, which should be reflected on the scoreboard and is now. And we are heading into Infernal Shrines as our second map. Not a good start for the Enjoyers. The final European team in the top 4 now, and they are struggling a bit here. Once again, Chromie gets shut down. I mean, you can tell, and it was already obvious for some time, that the teams have really started to do their research. We've seen a lot of the preference picks now being banned out against the teams. There's certain strategies that players and teams have been shutting down right from the start. But also some very interesting approaches. If you watched the winner bracket final between 30K and Squeal Team 6, there were some pretty cool comps that got played. We had a Vikings game in there. We had also a very interesting Stitches double support performance. So yeah, some pretty cool approaches, and I hope that this gets reflected in more maps and other games too. Falstad gets banned here on Infernal. We have also Junkrat, who got the axe, so no jumping around and being nasty in that regard. But yeah, what else? We have Blaze as a starter. We already have a very nice side laner, of course. And here comes again Diablo for Godfilth and Brightwing. Now, Dibbles for Godfilth, we've already seen it on the first map. Very strong, powerful pick for them. They're getting Brightwing on top of it too. With this being Infernal Shrines, I could see Johanna for the red team, unless they're aiming for some kind of sniper comp if they want to dive in with Varian, Taunt, with a Nuburak engage. But with AoE clear, Jojo would of course be fantastic. She also combos very well with Blaze. We get Uther, and they go for Varian, so they want to go for that sniper combo again. And you might have already noticed that every single one of the heroes that they're currently playing here has a stun. So this is really going to help them to lock a target down, meaning they are looking for AoE damage. Given the map, we could see Gul'dan. If not, there's always Jaina. I've pointed it out throughout the tournament, but in case that you're watching this one as your first series in this tournament, a quick reminder that we actually do not have any kind of draft rules here. So there can be repeat picks, as you probably already figured out with Diablo being taken for the second time. So absolutely not a problem, and we're going to see more of those. But that's why everything is still up for grabs here. So when it comes to follow-up damage on a taunt and stun combo on the side of the Enjoyers, you're talking about the usual suspects with mages. And again, Jaina, Gul'dan really come to mind, given the map and that you also want to dominate a bit on the AoE front and do works there. But we'll see how much they will contribute as this continues. Tigers gets banned out, apparently the blue team not having any kind of inclination of taking him for themselves, but they are a little bit afraid that Odin will be used on the shrines by the European team. Hogger gets banned out, which means that Leo gets taken, and they're going again for Hanzo. So, Hanzo's in the house, and that leads us to the final double pick for the Enjoyers. They are currently behind in the best of 5 series, obviously going to try to catch up here and to force game number 3 on an even standing. But, well, there's Sergeant Hammer, and we get Malfurion. Double support and hammer, damn. That's something that I didn't expect at all. Double support, Blaze Variant, and then as your damage dealer, Sergeant Hammer. Alright. That came a bit out of left field, but hey. We get Mephisto as the final pick, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are set for game number 2. So let's jump in. Infernal Shrines is the second map between the Enjoyers and the Anti-Clown Association. Alright, so apparently we had Battlefield of Eternity on the overlay for the second draft. Now obviously it's Infernal Shrines, I think I referred to it several times. Same tile set, but different map, so yes, we're not playing the same map twice here. The Anti-Clown Association over on the left with Godfilth again on Diablo, second time in a row now for him. Then in addition to that, we're getting Kelsia on Mephisto, Roger on Hanzo, Valamar on Brightwing, and Mason Blaze is playing Leoric. I'm so used to seeing Roger on Sylvanas. It's kind of wild seeing him on different heroes right now. On the right side, the double support with Arian Malfurion and Lavakal on Uther. We get Alvaros and Sergeant Hammer, Richu on Blaze, and Itrax is playing Varian. So a pretty interesting composition that gets played. It's really all about protect the hammer here, as it seems. So how much damage can they do with this? It's gonna be a bit of a wild game, if you ask me. If they can really pull through with Sergeant Hammer here and fully take control with all the sustain that they're now running in those shrine fights and claim the objective, that would obviously be really amazing. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. Right now the situation settles a bit after the initial fight in the middle of the map. So we have the top lane established. Leo and Blaze going at each other's throat while the rest of the team is now moving down to the bottom of the map and trying to make their plays right here. So let's see how far they can go with that. I mean, first of all, it's a couple of camps that are being taken. Mephisto takes it basically solo over on the left side, and over here on the right we have the red team going for their own Khaldor camp. Game number 1 didn't go well. Oh, and actually, I don't think we're getting taunt with this. Look at that level 1 talent for Varian. He actually went for High King's Quest. Smash? Really? Alright. With a double support here. We've seen one Meme Blades game already, but it wasn't by the... Was it? Nah, it wasn't by the Enjoyers. I think it was an A team that busted that out. It would be a bit wild if they would do that here. I still expected the entire time until I realized what they picked on level 1 that we would get taunt, as you would normally expect on Varian, but maybe in this case he's going to start yelling around a bit. It would vibe with them needing a bit more damage, so them just using the second support in order to make up for them picking something different. That might be the idea behind this. They are able to claim the third camp. Varian gets bullied around a bit. Here comes the level 4 talent. And what do we get for our front rider? They're actually holding it back. And here it comes. It's Smash. So they're going for Smash. They want a bit more damage. The on-point target damage here. Kelsier gets already put into a corner. Has to be a bit careful on this one as well. But Filth gets bullied by Sergeant Hammer a little bit, but since mobility is still missing for Alvaros, he needs that level 7 talent in order to really get stuff done with that. First objective is announced for the top lane now. So we'll see which team is going to be able to pick up that level 7 talent that you want to have for it, and can then also follow up and grab the first Punisher. Now, we already have a pretty powerful comp this early on with just level 4 talents for the red team. A lot of stuns that they can chain, then Smash coming in for some extra on-point target damage. Alvaros would of course love to have at least his mobility, but even without it, they should be able to do fairly okay here. So they are starting to move back out. Hammer is of course the primary target now for the Anti-Clown Association. They're going to try and take her out once they get a chance. Everybody is still playing on the side lane for level 7 talents. So they want to grab those as quickly as they can. But the blue team is now slowly taking over on the Shrine. They're trying to pull ahead on Shrine minions too. Leo in the middle is about to get his team level 7. And Blaze is rotating over as well. Here comes the first level 7 talent over on the left side. And for the red team, we're going to get it as well. So Sergeant Hammer finally with the mobility here and a much easier time now pushing into the Shrine and getting some damage done here. So they are starting to go for it. 23 against 19 Shrine minions right now. A few more shots are being fired here. Uther has gone for the Guardian of Ancient Kings. Keep in mind they're rocking a double support, so that definitely opens up some other talents later down the road as well. Varian already pushing them out, and they're looking good here. 31 to 34. Blue team falling back, so it seems like they're giving up on the first one. And yep, that's essentially what happens. So Frozen Punisher is taken, and this is the moment where they can now start to push into the first fort up at the top lane. And it's exactly what they're going to try and do. They're going to try to push straight for this, make sure that they're getting some damage done. Not a single kill in this game, by the way. We're 4.5 minutes in, nearly at the 5-minute mark. We haven't seen a kill yet, but they're starting to destroy the structures with the help of Sergeant Hammer and that Frozen Punisher. So it being a Frozen Punisher is, of course, assisting with that push even further. But yep, the attacks, they keep coming. Alvaros needs to push back, and they might even be able to get a bit more damage in on that fort. Yep. So down to 50% HP. Varian with a smash, with a scream, but Itrax is not going down here. With Malfurion making sure that he can still save him, so able to keep him alive. Bit of an attempt by the Anti-Clown Association to chase them and maybe get somebody on the retreat, which didn't quite work out for them. But there is a lead in experience now for the blue team. Still no kill though, which I mean, I don't want to be mean here, but if we're honest, then let's just face it. The red team waits still for their first kill in this entire series, in the best of 5. They haven't gotten a single kill in game number 1, so let's not forget about that. Here comes level 10 for the Anti-Clown Association. Immediately the barbecue play, and there's first blood. Great play by Godfilth. Comes in with a lightning breath, doesn't hesitate for a moment, and immediately burns him down here. So yeah, great job getting that kill with the early heroic ability against Malfurion, and that's first blood in game number 2. So Leo down at the bottom of the map, also just double checking on the camp. We now have heroics on both sides, as you can see, and well, the blue team eager to apparently steal away the Khaldor camp from the looks of it. So they are fighting for it. Diablo wants to go for the push. Ult from... Oh, nice! Ult from both Hanzo and Mephisto. And a very nice combo with Endurance of Hate straight into a meme strike. But the camp still claimed by the boys on the right side of the map, by the Europeans. And they also got their first kill in the series. They drop Leoric. Leorki goes down. And that was the first kill that they got today. So... Varian with another quick taunt. I like the idea, by the way, between Endurance of Hate into a meme strike from Hanzo. Dragon Strike can be kind of powerful. The situation wasn't bad for using it either, but they got very limited value out of it. Now with level 20, once that you get the cooldown reduction, obviously you can do so much more with it as well. So we might see that come into play later down the road. But for now at least, it's just Itrax jumping around here, trying to do as much damage as he can. He's currently sitting on 16,000 damage, which puts him into the second highest damage position on the red team. Doesn't really come as a shock if you think that they have... I mean, he is essentially the second damage dealer, right? So you have two supports behind them, and you have only Sergeant Hammer. So essentially he is the second damage dealer. But if that's going to be enough over the course of this game, that's a totally different question and one that has to be answered later on. For now, at least, what we're getting is everybody prepping for the next objective. That's going to be happening around level 13 talents, of course. Blue team is already starting to slowly push in here and wants to take the lead over the opponent. So let's see if that's possible for them. Definitely could be. Varian is already starting to pressure Leoric. Cooldown obviously very low on Smash, so you should try and bust that out a few times during a big extended team fight. And that's exactly what they're aiming for now. 14 to 12 Shrine minions. Top camp has been defeated. Here comes the stun. Root follow up. And immediately Entomb, but the bunker is ready, saving the day for everybody that got caught. Meme strike just to zone it out, but not too much. Sergeant Hammer, not impressed by the way, gets another BFG through, and they have Leo already very low. He's likely going to fall again. Mason Blaze goes down. 27 to 26 stacks on the Shrine minions, and the situation is leaning them further and further into favor for the red team. They're only 3 away from grabbing another Punisher. Leo wants to burn it down though. Maybe they can get it with a lightning breath here. It's gonna get close, and it is the Enjoyers. They lose Varian, but they get the objective. So they are able to claim another Punisher. Both teams on level 13 talents now. The stun procced in front of the gate. They are trying to push in now, but yep, that Punisher is going on a bit of a journey. So he's very active on the map. Tries to take the minion wave out and then slowly jumps in again and finds himself stuck on the gate. All right. Yeah, but that means that the keep or the fort is still not attacking. Teamfight at the bottom of the map, focusing on Sergeant Hammer, and Alvarez goes down. So that Punisher being stuck is kind of weird, because now it's going to do a bit more damage. But Sergeant Hammer has been destroyed, and here in the middle, only the gate and one tower have been taken out. So it's not a lot of damage that they suffered. It's a bit of a weird one, honestly. Sergeant Hammer getting taken out there, bit of damage done, I suppose, at the top as well, given the circumstances here. Now that Itrax is coming in, they want to go for Hanzo, and they drop him before Brightwing has an opportunity to move in and help out. So the fort gets destroyed. They are getting some value out of all of this. Yeah, they might have lost Sergeant Hammer and Varian earlier when the Punisher was claimed, but they also did damage in the middle. It took the fort out at the top. So all of that really counts and just flows together slowly. They can build enough on it to lock in a win in game number 2. Would of course be nice for the series here. But I'm pretty sure that the Anti-Clown Association is going to have a very, very different plans on that account. Yeah. I'm going to try to very quickly flip the script here. So at the bottom of the map with the double support, Sergeant Hammer is now moving into position again. And yeah, let's see how far they can go on this. Experience and kill count, basically identical. No big difference here, and you can see it also here, the experience that they have. I mean, nobody has been able to pull heavily away on a single category just yet. Meme strike after the Endurance of Hate, but everybody is still fully fine here. But the barbecue drops the, Malfurion. That's now the second or third time that Diablo is able to take down Malfurion. It must honestly be that mossy beard that it has. I can imagine that it's just like insanely dry and full of like dry moss as well that burns like cinder, obviously. So once that lightning breath just touches it, the entire thing just goes up in flames. What he needs is a barber. Just shave that thing off. Might look a little bit stupid, but then again, he already looks dumb enough as is. So that can only be an improvement. Would be my way of dealing with it. I'm sure if Malfurion would follow my advice here, he could survive a lot further into these fights, but as it stands right now, it's really just fire that is his Achilles heel. 16 to 16, so teams have now picked up on the big talents. Benediction is in, and Giant Killer, which is of course going to make the life of Diablo a lot more annoying as all of this continues. Not too bad. So let's see. Slight kill advantage for the blue team now, but here comes the next shrine. 2 have been won thus far by the Europeans. 2 of the shrines have been taken by them. Can they claim another Punisher? They've only destroyed a single fort, not more than that. But they are sieging up with Alvaros, with Sergeant Hammer at the bottom of the map. Starting to get more value here. But how far can they actually go with this? Right now, Shrine is about to pop up, so here's the moment, here's the opportunity to see how much you can do with this. Already, the attacks keep coming, and the blue team has been pushing and has been starting to go straight into the Shrine again. So far, so good for them. But, well, here comes the next attack. Diablo already diving in deep as they're trying to get the next hit. And the meme strike gets value. That's the end of Varian. Varian gets destroyed. Here comes the Entomb as Leo sneaks in from behind and traps Malfurion. It's again the barbecue. Tranquility and Divine Shield both used to save the day. So he is still alive. He made it. Leo's trying to get away from this one, but damn, what a fight now. And this is the first objective for the ACA. They are able to claim the Mortar Punisher. 5 kills to 3. Diablo together with the Punisher and the rest of the team now traveling through the bot lane. Leo has moved towards the middle, so he's not going to be part of this particular fight. But the attacks, yep, they keep coming and they're doing damage. They destroy the fort within seconds, and now they're starting to move for that wall at the bottom of the map, going to try and take that one out. Big plays made now by the ACA as they're starting to pull ahead. They've nearly taken a 1-level lead, and the idea, of course, is to also damage the keep at the bottom of the map. But Leo is still missing, so this is a 5 versus 4. Blue team has to be careful. They can do some damage. They open the wall up. That's big for later on. They're zoning them away from the Punisher for just a moment so they can do a bit more damage. But then the rotation towards the middle is happening. And they're catching Blaze in the process. He has to bunker up and burn the cooldown. Does he? Nah, he doesn't die. They have the double supports close enough that they can rotate over and help him out here. But it's still undeniable that the team is now ahead. Nice! That wall stun against Uther, brutal. And then he gets Hanzo the second later, and Mephisto comes in for the added damage. Well done. That leaves the red team with only 1 support, 4 defense in the situation now. 53,000 damage by Sergeant Hammer. Top damage in the game, even ahead of Mephisto, but structures are falling all over the place on the red team side. They don't have a single fort standing anymore. They lost everything. And to make matters worse, that level 20 talent is in range now. They're starting to poke at the bottom keep. The idea being, of course, to hit level 20 here and take the keep out. And since they only have 4 heroes currently, there is not even an inkling of the red team trying to respond to this. So they give up the keep. That means that they have only 2 keeps standing. Everything else has already been destroyed, and it is a tough moment for the Storm League enjoyers. They're in a really awkward spot. They already lost game number 1, and now on the second map, after initially being played pretty alright, things are looking, I want to say, maybe not worse, but still pretty bad. So, yeah, not really a good moment for them. Now, they might, of course, try to recover. Well, they will. But pulling that off is going to be tough, if not impossible. I honestly, at this point here, it depends a little bit on the timing, I suppose, for the next objective. Leo is still waiting around here before he commits to the camp. But once that we have actually another fight happening over the next objective, if the red team by then has not gotten the level 20 talent, then I just don't see it. We're talking top side Punisher, topside Shrine. No team has a fountain nearby. I assume that the Enjoyers will be able to get to level 20 in time for this. And if they don't, then it's going to be more than tough. But they should be able to get Storm Talents. And once they have Storm Talents, then again, it's an even fight. And the Enjoyers, they are a team that just need one opportunity. One late game team fight that they win, and they will go for your core. No matter how many structures they have to destroy in the process. They've shown this so many times. This is not going to be different here. They're going to try the exact same play again. But first they need level 20. And they nearly have it. The Shrine is getting announced, and with half a minute still remaining, they can definitely pull that off. So yeah, this is not going to be an issue for them. They're going to be able to do that for sure. Now, with level 20, we're getting the Ultra Capacitors again. We got Serenity. So we have already more survivability for the team now that they can rely upon. Uther going straight into Redemption, and then we get the Glory to the Alliance for Varian. Here's the moment. Now you have your level 20 talents. You gotta prove that you're able to pull this off after all. The only chance for a comeback is right now. You lose this one, you lose the Punisher, you lose the fight, and the game might end right there. If you, on the other hand, are somehow able to recover, take the objective, and maybe get a few kills, it might just change the outcome. Alright, that one didn't do a whole lot. Obviously, cooldown reduction is there. Barbecue, Uther dead. He's gonna come back. We're gonna have him with Redemption. Leo, well, he's also gonna come back, but not quite as quickly. They might want to go for a second kill. In this case, they're going for Diablo, and he's also down. Diablo is dead. That's the double kill. Now, he had, of course, his stacks, so he will be back in a moment, but there comes the next attack, and this time it's Kelsia that gets locked down. Gets the shield. Malfurion gets murdered. Malfurion is gone. So is Mephisto, though. Sergeant Hammer is so insanely low, but still alive. Here comes Diablo, says thank you very much, and takes the free kill that is offered to him. But Filth might fall, though, and he does. But I think that kill might have just been worth it. Down at the bottom of the map, we're going to have catapults on the core soon. Well, actually, they're going to hide behind the Khazra camp again. That would be a problem if they would actually attack the core, which they won't, so they're just going to keep griefing. But the fight continues, and Roger is alive. Well, he is alive for now. And Varian is a bit too far out. Varian is going to get killed. He's down. Leo wants to still make a move here. But yeah, it's a bit crazy. And the shield is now falling. Catapults, they finally... Look at this! Look at this! They learned how to drive around the camp. It's insane. AI is real. It's real. It took them 10 years, but they are finally driving around the camp. And that might even be game. The Winions, ladies and gentlemen. It is Winion time, and this is game 2-0. As the ACA takes a big lead in the best of 5. GG. Okay, we're going to Cursed Hollow, everybody. I'm actually amazed with the map choices today. I'm very happy that we get Cursed Hollow. I didn't even believe it until I joined the lobby, because I was like, well, probably somebody mispicked in the drafting process and it's not really Cursed Hollow. But it is Cursed Hollow, so we're going, and we have a 2-0 right now. I'm still blown away by the fact that those catapults drove around the camp. How many times in the past have I complained about the catapults always being stuck behind them? I mean... honestly, Blizzard must have uploaded some kind of AI patch in the last one, and now these things can learn. Which probably scares me more than anything else, so burn them with fire, whatever you do. But, yeah, I never thought I would actually see it. Catapults that start to get smart and just, like, drive around them. Maybe just got a catapult driver's license. I've been advocating for that for a long time. We needed to fire some of these catapult drivers because they really just sucked. And now... apparently, finally, they are, you know, putting some effort in. So, kudos on them. Things are improving here. Cursed Hollow, it's a 2-0 lead. The Anti-Clown Association is one win away from kicking the Enjoyers out of the tournament and forcing the European team into 4th place. So, can they do a little bit more here? We'll see. But at least for now, kudos to the ACA. Falstad gets banned. There's, by the way, the ban on Sylvanas again now that we're heading into Cursed Hollow as well. They know, of course, that specifically Roger loves to play Sylvanas whenever he gets a chance. And look at that. Diablo gets taken away. Diablo gets picked away after Godfilth was able to play him twice in a row now. At this point, the Enjoyers just said, that's part of the problem. We're going to get him for ourselves. This is also a good map for Diablo. So how about we don't give them too many opportunities? We get Blaze then on the other side. As usual, I absolutely appreciate it when Mason Blaze takes the hero. Makes it much easier for me. Kelsia on Hanzo. And for the red team, they obviously need to win 3 in a row now. Reverse sweeps aren't impossible. We've seen plenty, but they're certainly not easy. So what are we? We're getting Dehaka for the side lane. So we get a global and we get Uther again. So they're really believing in the power of Uther here. They already played him earlier. Granted, in a double support situation, but hey, still. So Uther was in there. Tracer gets banned, getting rid of her. And then the final ban from the Europeans. They did a little bit better in game number 2, I want to say, than on the first map. So, generally speaking, it's still true that I never would count them out because it's just too easy for them to come back into a game as they've shown. Now we have Zagara even banned. That was already a problem in the past. But, yeah, I'm definitely up for some big action between the teams right now. And I want to see what exactly the blue team is now going to lock in for the front line too, as we're heading into the final one of the potential final map for this best of 5 series. Winner, as explained before, goes up against Squeal Team 6 in the next round. Here comes Malfurion and we get Muradin. So Stormbolt into Blaze Stun, maybe even Hanzo Arrow, Malfurion locked down with a Root. So you're going to get quite a lot of CC there. Both teams actually run a lot of CC that they can chain properly. And the final 2 picks, we need damage. They haven't taken a single damage dealer yet. With Cursed Hollow being the map, we have double boss of course here too, so you could try and cater towards that. It's one of the reasons why Hanzo is also a nice choice for the blue team. But for the Europeans, we get Varian and we get Jaina. Do we get Meme Strike again? No way. Varian in the 3-man, not as the main tank. After we just got Smash, this smells like Meme Strike. Is a bit wild, isn't it? Final pick for Roger. And, well, what's it going to be for them? Roger, they need more damage. And he goes for Hogga. Triple frontline for them too. Ladies and gentlemen, match point number 1 for the Anti-Clown Association as they face off against the Enjoyers on Cursed Hollow. Potentially the final map of the series, the Anti-Clown Association on the left, with Godfilth on Muradin, Mason Blaze on Blaze. Kelsia is playing Hogga, we got Roger on Hanzo, and Valamar on Malfurion. To the right side of the map, the Enjoyers, with Richu on the global. He's gonna play Dehaka for the team in this 3rd game of the series. Then on top of that, we are getting Lavakal on Uther, we have Arian on Diablo. Varian, that was already expected, is going into the High King's quest. He definitely is not going to be the main tank for the team, so the only question here is Smash or Meme Blades. How deep into the rabbit hole do they go? And then we get Jaina as the final pick, which is obviously going to be their burst damage that they're going to try and bust out here during these fights. So let's see. Let's see how much damage they can do, how far they can go with this, if they're going to be able to win this, or how things are going to play out. If this is a 3-0 victory, then the Enjoyers would take 4th place in the tournament and would be the first team to be eliminated from the finals. At the top lane, we got Blaze against Dehaka for now. And down here at the bottom of the map, now that the 1-minute mark is slowly approaching, the teams will, of course, start to get ready for the objective, which is initially, of course, just getting as many of those mercenary camps as you possibly can get. And then once the tribute launches, that's going to be the next thing on the list, on the menu. But with all that CC that both teams are running, all need to be a bit careful here. I'm talking about the CC, the Haka at the top is eating a little bit more damage. Hogga is just going for the spin to win at this point and is starting to make his moves right here. We're now looking at also Jaina still making the next move and going very quickly for the camp over here. So yeah, one quick attack after another. Jaina's rotation, if she just simply moves through her damage rotations, can always do a whole lot of work there as well. She can really help with the speed of camp clear just in general. And yeah, we'll see. I'm a little bit worried for the Enjoyers. It would be kind of nice if they would at least be able, you know, to move in now and take down, let's say, the opponent on one map, but going down with a 3-0. Actually, they didn't win a single map in the winner bracket semifinal either. So far in the final phase of this tournament, they haven't won a single map. So that is a little bit of a problem. And I personally would like for them to at least take one, I guess. But if they get defeated here on Cursed Hollow, then essentially means that they get dropped out of the tournament without taking even a single map. So yeah, it's a bit tough with the problems that they of course have, considering the ping disadvantages. We've seen them also have some serious lag issues earlier, but at least in this case they're able to get first blood in game number 3, so already setting a good signal for the potential first one. Now, is that going to be enough for them as games continue? That's a different question. But right now, we're having at the bottom of the map a bit pressure applied against Varian, who has gone into Smash. So we're not going full meme blades on this one. Smashy Smash Smash instead is the name of the game for them right now. And the first tribute is now up too. So with the first tribute up on the map, they can now really start focusing on some of the team fights here and see what's going to happen and how far they can go with this. Uther gets interrupted with a quick Storm Bolt, so that's the first thing happening here. In the meantime, everybody is committing to that fight with the exception of the side laners. Blaze and Dehaka are still up at the top. So, yeah, next jump comes in, Storm Bolt, and Dehaka is gone. Nice, Dehaka came in, gets immediately sniffed out and eliminated. So he gets dropped. Another quick bully jump by Diablo, but definitely not enough to make a difference or have an impact here. The tribute gets indeed channeled by the blue team. We now have a kill for a kill. Level 7 is already in for the ACA. So they have taken the first objective, or at least the first tribute, and they've been able to take a small lead in experience. Actually, starting to get extended a little bit further. They're nearly a level ahead by now. So if they can do more damage here, that would be pretty sweet for them. We get the Ice Flurs, we have the Frost Shards as well, so a little bit of piercing and the Fingers of Frost. They always highlight that, as I said in the past, like it is a special thing that only Jaina has. If you ever had a girlfriend in your life, you're fully aware that every woman has Fingers of Frost. Every single one of them! I haven't met one that doesn't have Fingers of Frost. And they always do the same thing. It's always the same. They're like coming in, put the fingers somewhere on your back, and it's just like you're sitting like, frost, cold, stop, please. And then instead of just leaving the hand in the same spot and wait until it warms up a little bit, nope, they have to touch you in all different kinds of spots, and it's always cold, always Fingers of Frost, insta chills. And it's always the same. They're like, oops, I think my hands are cold. Really? You think? Every single one of them. You're not special, Jaina. You're not special. Fingers of Frost, you all have them. Jaina thinks she's cute or something. Ice Queen over here. Varian, by the way, now with the second win. And he's by now topside. So he's currently going up against Dehaka here. Next tribute is coming up. So, with level 10 approaching very quickly for the blue team, I think this might become a huge problem for the Enjoyers if they're misplaying this. That window might be small, but it's definitely going to be there, so you better be very, very careful on this. Boss was at least looked at and nearly taken, but you gotta be mega cautious now, because if you are not starting... Yeah, okay, they're falling back. If they would have actually tried to go in for this, even with this window as small as it is, they would have been absolutely destroyed here, so I don't really see that. Now, we have at the same time Malfurion with Haymaker, so taking apparently a page out of Porky's book. God Filth decides that Avatar is heavily overrated and that he wants to go for the big Playmaker moves. We'll see if he can make those work, because I have my own opinion on Haymaker and I have not been afraid to share it. Level 10, that gives us also the barbecue. In the case of Varian, we get Warbringer now. We have Uther with Divine Shield. Varian is still sitting at the top side currently. I actually think that at this point Varian is just sitting there and he's maybe sulking a little bit. Game didn't really go too well for him earlier, so maybe he's just sitting there and he's just sulking. He's just like, nope, I'm just gonna use my PhD in PvE on the side lane and we'll go for some of the minion waves. This is what I actually had in mind. Yep, next quick hits keep coming as we have Diablo moving in. There comes the arrow. It's Jaina in the back. Yep. Rumor has it that she actually laid a hand on Hanzo and he was not happy about the Fingers of Frost. So instead she gets now an arrow to the face. Varian with a quick jump and smash. They want the kill on Arian. He gets rooted by the boss. That was the boss, right? I mean, I'm not as that mattered. Malfurion or the boss, doesn't really matter who rooted him at the end of the day. He would have fallen regardless. So that's Diablo gone. That's the second kill for the blue team. And they're getting the boss in the process. So we have now 2 tributes against 1. There's the third one that gets channeled through. That's a curse. And, well, at least Hogger gets killed. So Hogger getting killed here, that's actually big. That is a really big development because while the boss is now going for the fort, the blue team will have only 4 heroes to attack. Now, we get them still chasing Varian. They shouldn't waste too much time here because at the end of the day, honestly, if you're pushing with a curse, you should look for more structural damage. Murden gets also destroyed. That's what he gets for not picking Avatar. But the topside fort is now falling. The bottom keep is still getting attacked too. So that's the next one that they have to watch out for. Here in the middle of the map, next attack with Roger. So there's also the chance to go for the 40. I'm not quite sure if they're doing enough. Well, actually they have done quite a fair amount of damage. There's another 16 seconds on the curse. They've taken 2 forts out and now they're doing even damage up the top side wall. So that's the second wall that is going to get destroyed here. It is not too shabby. I've seen a lot worse. It's a super early curse too. They're taking a few camps in the process. We have 3 kills to 3. Level 13 talents are now in. So it might not be the best objective in the world of course Hollow plays, but they've even done a bit of damage on the keep itself, so it's not too bad. Still the ACA with a good move here, and more importantly of course, they have now managed to get to a point where we're seeing them slowly and steadily sneaking in a lead in experience, where on top of that they're also able to just get ahead in structures, and with Blaze now pushing at the bottom of the map, even with a couple of siege giants, if there's not a few that are moving in very quickly for that, that keep is going to fall. He could even sacrifice himself here at this point. I mean, that keep is very close to falling. A catapult and siege giants with the Haka coming in, that's not going to be enough. The stun hits hard. That means that he gets slowed down too. That keep is gone. We're 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and the keep is gone. They're trying to go for Varian to get a kill at the top, but sacrificing a keep this early in the game is definitely not worth it. I think at this point, part of what plays a role here is that the Enjoyers just accepted that with the ping issues that they have, they're not going to be able to make a huge dent here, and that is highly unlikely that they're going to be able to go for a full reverse sweep. So now they're just having some fun apparently. Jaina is gone, so is Uther. We have 6 kills to 3, half a level to 16. And yep, things are not looking all too hot for the Enjoyers. Not sure they're really enjoying this. It is level 16 talents on the horizon. Another boss is about to be taken. We just don't have a lot going for the red team right now. And since the level 16 talent is now kicked in and will be part of that boss push for sure, this is going to make matters obviously worse. So that boss gets claimed. There was nobody there that could have in any way, shape or form tried to prevent this from happening. And they can go for the next attack now. So as it stands, this topside push might actually result in the second keep being destroyed. They're already pushing for this. They're already trying to take the wall out. The towers have gone. And that is a push that will be difficult, if not impossible to stop. I mean, good luck trying to break this down before the keep is gone. Maybe if they can get some kills, they can even propel this further and go, oh my god, yep, get for Varian and maybe even go for the core. Because with Varian now gone, that's a 4 versus 5 against a team that has a talent lead over you. Your keep is gone, and that boss is going to march straight for the core. So there's actually a pretty big chance that the game is going to end right here. And not only the game, the entire series. Uther gets murdered. ACA is just going in for the kill, for the juggler. We have 6 kill lead for them, and this is going to be it. Jaina gets killed. She completed the quest, not that it mattered. Diablo is down, and the final one that is surviving here is the Haka. He's running away, but the core, bad news, can't run, still stationary, and that is a 3-0 victory for the ACA. The Anti-Clown Association moves on to the next round of the tournament, as the Enjoyers take 4th place. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.